What's going on YouTube? WildLion Games here. Football Simulator just received its first update in 4 months, which is version 0.3. It includes updates to the performance, graphics, gameplay, physics, with an exhaustive list that includes receiver stances, center snapping the ball, better power rush, a fatigue system, an auto substitution system, better AI coaching decisions, new helmet textures, new end zone art, stadium improvements, new weather effects, and much more. Now, all of this sounds great on paper. The notes say that there's a general improvement among graphics and performance and quality of life. It's hard to believe this game has been out for a little over 2 years now, and I'm sure some gamers hoped for faster improvements, but such is the life of indie developed games, I guess. So let's hop back into Football Simulator and see what it looks like now and compare it to when we first looked at it 2 years ago. When I saw the weather effects improvements, the first thing I wanted to do was play a snow game. You all know that I love snow games and the snow effects in video games, especially with football, and I was always still looking for football games to implement that soft, heavy, pillowy snow, and Sunday Rivals does a great job of it. The snow in Football Simulator is freaking awesome, man. Like, it's actually deforming around my players as I move. You can see the footsteps in the ground as the player's running. As I get tackled, more snow gets cleared out, and you can kind of see the turf underneath. This is a pretty powerful weather system, and I noticed that the divots that I put in the ground don't go away either, right? So like I score, I'm in the end zone, I'm running around the field, and on the kickoff, I can still see all my previous footsteps in the snow. It doesn't regenerate snow in that area. All your paths stay on the field. Now at halftime, it resets because the snow's coming down so hard, and it's pretty sweet. Now, it makes sense why my game is using, 92% of my computer's GPU though. I mean, the GPU is dying of thirst over here. But he'll be fine. So yeah, the snow improvements are really cool. I also see that the playbook is far better organized than it was in previous versions of the game. So in previous versions, like I'm showing you right now, the playbook was just this jumbled mess of drawings, like a desk drawer you haven't organized in years. Now we can actually sort through the playbook by formations and choose plays this way. It's much cleaner. The play art also looks a lot nicer. It's a little bit easier to read. On the visual enhancements, I have noticed overall slight visual improvements to the game as far as the stadium, the atmosphere, and the players as well. The helmet models definitely look a little bit better, but the player models themselves don't look too different. So we can take a look at an older version of the game, and you can see the side-by-side differences here with player models, helmets, and jerseys. And overall, over 2 years, it's a pretty decent improvement if you ask me, but nothing groundbreaking. Now, there is a dive and hurdle button in the game, where previously when you dove, the player kind of would like spring upwards and outwards, and you could sort of feel that springiness from their feet in the jump. But now when you dive, you kind of just launch straight outwards without really getting too much height, making diving over a pile into the end zone a lot tougher and making Lambo leap significantly harder too. Another new gameplay addition I've noticed is this icon under your player when you run. You can actually hold down A to fill it up and charge, which from my play testing, it appears to add maybe a slight boost to the moves you pull off, whether that's breaking a tackle or tackling somebody. Maybe it's a stiff arm or a dive. I've noticed that it has like a little bit more power, more punch to it. The developers have said they have plans to improve on this, and it's inspired by the 2K series where you tap A. So we'll see where they evolve that feature from here. Some physics adjustments have been made to the default settings, and overall a little bit more realistic. You won't be dragging guys 30 yards down the field all the time throughout the game, but the focus around Ragdoll physics is definitely still there. It's hard to see the improvements with the lack of proper running animations, throwing, catching, stiff arm, etc. Just in general, a lack of proper football movement makes seeing the physics take place a little bit tougher, but when you play the game, you can definitely feel the difference from where it was 2 years ago. There are still many areas to improve upon the gameplay. I would love to see some proper acceleration from the running back after a handoff. I don't feel that explosive power through the hole or that change of speed when I play this game. Everything feels very continuous and even keel. There's not a lot of variation in speed and agility from a single player. Throwing anything but the deep ball or a hook is just a toss-up as to where the ball is actually going to go. I mean, so many times I'm trying to throw an out route and the quarterback just throws it the opposite direction of where the receiver is running. The CPU still doesn't call timeout when they have the ball, and therefore they don't even attempt to score points at the end of the half. The clock will just run out. So yeah, they've had lots of nice improvements for Football Simulator, but there's still a long way to go. What I would say is it's a fun game to play if you're looking for what is essentially like a Ragdoll simulator in football form. And if you just kind of want this like almost football sandbox with Ragdoll physics, if you want to call it that, then I think you'll be fun. If you're looking for like a deep franchise mode experience or simulation football, it's nowhere close to that just yet. Being able to tweak the physics settings in game now instead of using other software, like Microsoft's VS Code, that's also a very nice addition, that you can go in there within the game settings and you don't even have to leave the game to make some tweaks. And you can actually, if you spend enough time with all of the different settings, you can basically create an entirely new playing game that has a totally different feel to it. Again, I would say the biggest things they need to focus on right now for Football Simulator is improving upon the player movement. Running, throwing, catching, stiff arms, etc. The stadium looks great, the snow effects are awesome, organization of the playbooks is a nice addition. They did mention that their next priorities for updates are going to be new catch animations, throwing platforms for the QB, online multiplayer, injuries, laterals, new pass rush animations, and just better in-game AI. Now, I don't think we need to add online multiplayer just yet, in my opinion. I would rather have a cleaned up looking game with players that propel themselves forward instead of running in place while gliding forward. But I am looking forward to the improved animations that are rumored to come. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and appreciate you all for tuning in. If you like info on games like Football Simulator, Maximum Football, College Football 25, and just other sports titles, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time,